So don't be so mad. I know that it's easier said than done, and it feels like it's hopeless. I'm begging you, please hold on.
Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. In this video, we're going to be doing a really fun challenge. So I'm going to be sending a message to all my friends and ask them to pick my TBR. So I'm basically going to be reading whatever they choose. These are the books I have on my TBR currently. There are some books that I really want to read right now and some books that I just hope no one picks. So I went on my phone and I messaged all my friends asking them what they would choose, and it's according to whoever replies first, I'll read their book first. The first book I'm going to be reading, which most of my friends chose and had a similar reply to the title as well, was A Life Without You. So that's the book I'm going to be starting with. So I finished the first book on my challenge, and let's talk about the book. So I actually gave this book a 4-star on Goodreads, but I've had a bit to think about it, and I think I'm going to go ahead and give this a 3-star and not a 4. I think my expectations for this book were a lot more than what I received, just because it's a topic that's grief, and so I expected to cry, like shedding tears 24/7. I think I only shed a tear maybe once, and that was maybe 5 or 6 pages into the book, when I guess when the death happens and you have kind of the very new grief that's happened quite immediately. But other than that, I don't think I cried much. Either that could be that I was just out of waters in my well and I just didn't have it in me to pour out. I cried in the good part a lot, and that book wasn't even supposed to, I guess, make you cry. The topic was more choosing the right decision in your life. When is the good part gonna come? You know, involving kind of that. This one, I guess because the title was of grief, I was like, oh my god, I'm gonna cry a lot, and I want to cry. I did not. There were some questionable things happening in this book, and so I was like, really? Like, the death just happened. What is happening right now? It was just sometimes hard to pick up and read, so that's why I gave this a 3-star. So the next book that my friends, I say friends because 2 of them chose the same book, was Finale, but Esther chose it first, so I'm gonna listen to her. So that's gonna be the book that I read next. I must say I was a bit shocked looking at the book she chose, because I'm just not in the mood for fantasy right now or Finale. I think the last book just disheartened me a little bit, and so I'm just like, I don't know, but you know, the friends have said it, so we're gonna listen to them. So let's go get the book.
Hope we haven't lost our way, 'cause it feels that way to me. But I know
The book has been acquired. We have a book. I do have some work to do. I think I'm just going to read a few pages before I start doing my work, just so I can give some of my thoughts of what I feel the book is going to be so far. So let's get started.
maybe the reason tossing and turning is 'cause I'm scared one day you won't reply.
This is the part of the book that I read in the previous book, so that's what I'm reading right now. I was like, why is this so similar?
I'm sorry, you know I never meant to. We haven't lost our.
I'm working late, 'cause I'm a singer. In my mind, 24/7. Okay, I lied. I did not update you right after I finished reading of the first 2 pages because I just started working. It is now 3:44 p.m. and we started reading the book, and ignore that sound, please. I'm on page 24 now, and I actually skipped the first few pages because I had already read them in the previous book, because they included, as I said, some bits of this book. And it's honestly taking all my willpower not to close this book and start another one, because I don't know what it is. I think it's because I found the previous book to be not so satisfying, and so it's because I'm reading like the same thing at the beginning. I'm kind of bored out of it. However, I've started reading the pages that I haven't read before, so that's starting to be a little bit interesting. But I feel like I just don't care for the characters that much right now. Like, I feel like everything that was at stakes is done and achieved and gone and like over, and I'm like, what exactly are you gonna, find now? I don't know. Like, I don't know the purpose of this book anymore. Yeah, that's the update, but I'm hoping hoping I can keep it together for the rest of this challenge because I need to get through this book. And I know if I stop this book now, I'm afraid I will not pick it up again. So I really need to read this. So today is Monday. I am halfway through the book finale and I am actually enjoying it so far. There is so much happening in this book. So many new things are happening that wasn't discussed in either of the previous books, which is why I am kind of hooked to this book now. I think this is the element that was missing in the previous book. The previous book was just so mundane and not a bunch was happening. But in this, lots is happening. So I'm really enjoying it so far. I am on page 224. I'm just overall pleased with it. That's all I have to say.
So I finished finale today. Today is Wednesday day and I enjoyed it. I initially gave it a 5-star and then I was like, actually no. I think the only reason I gave it a 5-star was because the ending was like a banging ending, and so I feel like that really influences my rating. I was like, take a step back, gonna give it a 4-star. But I actually enjoyed it. It was after like half the book had gone by that I found the book to be interesting. There was a lot of happening towards the end, which I enjoyed because that was what was missing from the beginning. I am just sad this is over, and now let's go on to the next read that I'm going to pick. So the next book that my friend chose was The Hawthorne Legacy. So I'm actually excited for that. I was afraid someone was gonna pick another fantasy book, really heavy fantasy, and I was like, so I'm excited for that. It's a short book, so hopefully we'll be done with that quick.
I get lost in those hazy eyes. I'm in love with these lazy nights. So maybe we can stay back here and enjoy the ride. I don't wanna feel the night. I just wanna chill under the northern lights with you. I'll do whatever you want me to do. Sadie, you save me, keep me from floating away. Blue dream, baby, you leave me with nothing to say.
I have a feeling I'm going to cry in the next 2 or 3 pages.
I love the way you take control.
Hi! So I finished this book and giving this a 4-star. I thoroughly enjoyed it. There were just so many things that were happening in this book and overall.
Okay, camera died, so we're gonna continue over here for a bit. But I finished this book, gave it a 5-star at first, but I was like, you know what, maybe not. And I also read the other reviews and maybe got a bit influenced by that. So giving this a 4-star, enjoyed every single page, devoured every page. Now it's time to see what the third book, yes, well, the third book my friends chose were. So I'm really having to compromise with this angle right now. So my next friend will be Doha, who chose actually a mystery book for me, and it is Unholy Murder. I honestly wasn't in the mood for a mystery book. I really want to read a romance book, and none of my friends have chosen Twisted Lies, which is horrifying because I've just read consecutively really strong themed books and I'm like, I need a fluffy romance right now. But anyways, since you chose that, I'm gonna go, well, I'm just gonna pick that up and get started with that book. So I am on the new book, and how it's going so far, I'm enjoying it. The first page itself, the action started, which I'm grateful for. Yeah, I just don't want to DNF this book because that's what I thought before reading this. That's where it would go, because the last crime book, that was the one that I read a little bit long. You know what, let's cut that, doesn't make sense. I just thought I was gonna DNF this. In some places it starts to get a bit boring, like just a few lines, then it picks it up again, which is better, which is great. So I finished Unholy Murder and really like this book, giving this a 4-star. This was very different to the crime books that I've read so far. There was just a lot of realistic details being discussed in this book, as well as there was a good amount of personal life mixture of our main character as well, which I wasn't expecting. Also, something surprising in this book was that there is a bit of romance romance involved in this book. And now, switching on to the conundrum of the video. I'm now reading Twisted Lies, which was not chosen by any of my friends. So why am I reading this, you ask? Good question. It was because my friend actually chose A Curse for True Love. I started reading the book and I was reading it and I was just like, what is actually happening in this book? Why do I not understand what is going on in this book? I get up, I get the Once Upon a Broken Heart book to read the ending to try and figure out what actually happened, to jog my memory. Something is off. Then I go on to Google and I search up the order of the books. That's the final book of the series. I haven't even read the second book yet. And I thought that was the second book. When I tell you the disbelief and horror in my heart when I figured that out, stupid. Literally stupid. Anyways, because I don't have any other books left on my TBR to ask my friend to choose from, automatically just reading this until I receive my second book, which is not A Curse for True Love. I need a book to read, so I'm starting with this. Like I mentioned that I was reading the wrong book. Now we have an exciting package. The second book of the series is now in my hands and let's open it up. I am it's like birthday. It's like my birthday. And I really hope that the book is not bent or ruined in any way. That's why I stopped ordering from Amazon, because I just didn't trust how they were delivering the books. Ooh, she's nice and nicely packed. I see it. I see it. I was actually having an awful day so far because of a headache, and now I am all good. See, this is what you call wrapping. This is how you wrap a book and deliver it to make sure nothing happens to it. It's here. It's in my hand. Can you? I am so excited. I actually ordered a second book as well. Just for the summer. I have been hearing so many people talk about this book and I was like, I'm gonna have it. But anyways, this is not the focus. Also, I love this cover because there are 2 or 3 covers of this book. One of them is the text of the title is actually in cursive. I don't like that cover. I like this cover and I'm so glad. Since this is a challenge and since my friend did pick this book, I think I'm going to put a hold on this book and start with this. So the time has come to end this challenge. Before I talk about the challenge, just want to quickly mention that I did unbox the, I keep forgetting the name, in front of you, and I said that I would stop my current read and read that. However, I just can't bring myself to do that right now. I am almost done with Twisted Lies. I just feel like if I stopped this and started that or wanted to read both of them at the same time, I would ruin my experience. It wouldn't be fun for me. I've put that book on hold for now. I will read that after this book, so don't you worry. But it won't be included in this video, sadly. Well, let's talk about the other books. So overall, what are my thoughts on the challenge? I have mixed thoughts. First of all, I enjoyed it because I liked having my friends kind of participate in my reading journey with me and choose the books that I read. However, it was what I thought it would be, that sometimes when I wasn't feeling like reading a book and that book was chosen for me, I still had to read it, which it didn't ruin my experience, but it definitely was, you know, it wasn't that fun when I wanted to read a romance, but I was forced to read a fantasy book. And let's do a quick roundup of the books I read. First book I read, A Life Without You. I think I gave this a 3-star. I was actually excited for this to be the first pick, just because I wanted to be done with this book, and also I was interested to see if I'm going to like this genre of book. Again, I've never liked it. Turns out I don't like it. If I'm not wrong, next I read Finale, gave this a 4-star. Again, really sad this book is over. I really enjoyed it. If I'm not wrong, I read The Hawthorne Legacy next. Our Days of... okay. Gave this a 4-star. I expected it to be a 4-star. It was just like the first book. Every page was enticing. Every chapter ended with a hook. 2 to 3 pages chapters. You heard me say that before. But I think I can wait a while until I read the next book. And my last book, The Unholy Murder. This was one that I had no expectations from. I gave it a 4-star. Really surprised by this book. She was very annoying at the beginning. And when I say very, I mean like very with the capital V-E-R-Y. Very annoying. So these were the books my friends chose for me to read. I read this over a month, so 1 book each week. If you enjoyed watching it, make sure to give this video a thumbs up. And have you read any of these books before? Let me know if you have. And yeah, I will see you guys in my next video. Bye! Oh, the books were kind of pop.
Lay on knees.